Alright, it's been a while since we got new cards for this one archetype, but for main antagonist, Yubel has returned, and I'm really happy with a half-dragon-like form. And basically the first batch of Phantom Nightmare cards, and based on its name, it was bound to be Yubel cards because the ultimate nightmare. But overall, I'm just happy to finally see support for Yubel, and the new cover card is Yubel, so I might be very interested to build Yubel again, since Yubel was one of my favorite decks. I really love its style. And if you guys don't know its style, basically Yubel takes the pain and inflicts it back to the opponent. Basically, that's the style of Yubel. She battles and your opponent takes all the damage that you would have taken. But anyway, let's begin. So we start off with Spirit of Yubel, basically Jaden's other main ace that is spirited as well. But anyway, it's a level 10 Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense, theme of Yubel by the way. The first and second effect are both hard ones per turn. The first one being, when your opponent's monster declares attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, similar to Spirit of Neos basically. But anyway, the second effect is that if this card is special summoned, you can take one spell and trap Yubel card, add it to your hand or set it. First effects triggers the second one basically. And this is going to be a very important card because first off, it has the searching power and special summon itself, so it can be defensive measure, especially with its third effect where it cannot even be destroyed by battle and no battle damage involving this card. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to inflict back to your opponent on this like Yubel's playstyle, since it's a spirit, so I kind of get. But the fourth effect is that if this card is destroyed, you can special summon one regular Yubel that is banished, hand, deck, or graveyard. It can't be destroyed by battle while taking no damage, which makes it a very good defensive card, just like in an anime where she would basically protect you with all she has while being able to search, along with being able to special summon her true form. For Yubel deck, of course, run this. Next, Geese Grinder Golem, basically a retrain of Grinder Golem itself. It's a level 8 Dark Fiend with 3,000 attack, 300 defense, and you can only special summon one Geese Grinder Golem per turn. So first off, you reveal one Yubel monster from your hand, special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field, then special summon the revealed monster to your field. Very good, because Grinder Golem basically does the same thing, special summon itself to the opponent's side, and then you special summon the regular Yubel basically. Except the nice part is that the regular Yubel won't be normal summon like the original Grinder Golem. But the idea of this card is basically put a big monster in your opponent's field so you can attack into it and make your opponent take damage. In which a second effect just makes it even better because once per turn during damage calculation, if a Yubel monster battles this card, your opponent gets 3,000 life. Basically, special summon this card to your opponent's side of the field, and this is going to be battling into Yubel because it's going to special summon the Yubel. And on top of basically already taking damage, you're basically giving back yourself life. And on top of that, the third effect just makes this even better for Yubel decks because if you special summon a Yubel while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field, making your opponent still have a monster just to battle into. Definitely a 3-up in Yubel decks. And then we got Samsara Regenerated Lotus, which is a level 1 Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense. Each effect is hard once per turn. The first one is that you can tribute this card to special summon one Yubel from your deck. Very important effect, and another way to search, making this an automatic 3-up. With the second effect is that during your opponent's turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect while you control Yubel monster, quick effect, you can tribute this card. This effect becomes destroy one Yubel monster on the field. Very important, because destroying your Yubel means you're activating its card ability to special summon your basically evolved form of Yubel. And Yubel has 3 forms, to Terror Incarnate to the Ultimate Nightmare. Makes this card already worth running, especially with the third effect on top of it. During the end phase, if you control Yubel card and this card's in your graveyard, you can take this card and either add it to your hand or special summon it, which will give you a tribute target for the regular Yubel because Yubel needs to sacrifice something every single end phase. So yes, instant 3-up for Yubel decks because it special summons the Yubel. You can even evolve your Yubel by self-destructing it, and basically kind of saves the regular Yubel as well. And now to the new ultimate Yubel card, which is the new cover card, Yubel Deathwave Watcher, which is a level 12 Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense, requires one Yubel and one or more effect monsters on the field. First effect is a hard once per turn, where when this card's fusion summoned, you can inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for this summon. At least 2, so that's 1,000, and basically Yubel's playstyle of inflicting pain to your opponent. In which second effect is that it cannot be destroyed by anything, and you take no damage involving this card, which is basically Yubel's playstyle where it cannot be destroyed and basically an upgrade to the original. Which the third effect is that if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage slip, inflict damage equal to that monster's attack, and if you do, banish it. Improvement of the Ultimate Nightmare basically. Cannot be destroyed by anything, which is going to be a huge bonus compared to Ultimate Nightmare where it cannot be destroyed by battle, but this one banishes the monster over destroying the monster, plus just being able to burn. And summoning this shouldn't be too hard considering that it just requires one Yubel monster of any form, plus any of the effect monsters that you have, which you can also include Super Poly, because your opponent's monsters are very likely going to be effect monsters. So yeah, overall pretty good upgrade. Now onto the spells, we start off with the continuous spell Nightmare Pain, which you can only activate the first effect once per turn, and the effect is, during the main phase you can destroy one dark monster on the field or hand. If you do, add one Yubel card from your deck to your hand except itself. Just this one effect alone is already good in Yubel decks, because that's just going to trigger the special summon the evolve form effects. And on top of that, you can also search. And what's even better is that you can destroy from hand. So that's just going to give you the evolve forms right off the bat without even summoning regular Yubel. So yeah, just this first effect is worth running, and it's still searchable, with the second effect where, while you control a Yubel, any of the Yubels, all your opponent's monsters must attack them if able, which will of course force them to take the damage, because any pain you take is theirs instead. Which we go to the third effect where any battle damage your opponent would be taking from a Yubel monster goes to your opponent instead. This is just important for few cards, mainly with Spirit of Yubel, and sometimes your Yubel effects are negated, so this is just one way to just deal damage back to your opponent. But honestly, most of the Yubels already have this effect, so it's not like you need this effect, but for cards like Spirit of Yubel, this is actually pretty decent. The main part is of course the first effect for the searching and the destroying, and of course forcing your opponent to battle them. And then we go to Mature Chronicle, where each time you special summon a Yubel or Yubel support card, place one Chronicle counter on this card, in which we can play the second effect for this, where you can remove up to 5 counters to activate one of these effects. You remove 1, special summon a Yubel from your graveyard. You remove 2, add one of your banished cards to your hand. You remove 3, banish 1 card from your deck. You remove 4, destroy 1 card on the field. You remove 5, add a Super Poly from your deck to your hand. Even though some of the effects are iffy, this is just a useful card. Being able to summon your Yubel is one big one. Being able to just banish a card from your deck and then use the second one just to do stuff is also pretty nice. The fourth effect to destroy something is also pretty nice. And then adding the Super Poly. Yeah, that is not too bad considering that the new Yubel fusion monster just needs a Yubel and any other monster. Basically, it's just Yubel absorbing their power to make herself stronger. Even if this second effect to activate one of these 5 effects is hard once per turn, still pretty decent. Finally, to the last card, which is a continuous trap, Eternal Favorite. Its effect is, once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Special summon one Yubel monster that is banished or in your graveyard. Neither player can activate cards or effects when this card is special summoned. Pretty good to avoid some stuff. And the second effect is that if you control Yubel, the regular Yubel, discard 1 card, send this face-up card to the graveyard from your spell and trap card zone, fusion summon 1 monster from the extra deck by using materials from either player's field as a material along with a Yubel monster. Basically, the card is based on Yubel just playing Super Poly. I mean, it's not entirely a bad card, especially when it's a Yubel card, so it's searchable, and basically can act as another Super Poly. Overall, it's not too bad, but once again, it's a trap, but it is pretty decent. So that's it for the new cover card with Yubel support. What do you guys think of it? Once again, just good to see old stuff that hasn't been supported for a while, and once again, another Protagonist related monster. Yubel is still Protagonist related even though it's Antagonist related as well. And overall, I just like to see this as a full-on archetype. There was Yubel decks back in the day, but it wasn't a full-on archetype, but it was basically a 0 attack based deck. But now, basically this support has made a full-on archetype out of it, and I like that. I might actually end up building Yubel since I love its style. I love Yubel's character as well. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.